Today we're taking a look at these NBA matches, which are happening on Friday, December 9th, 2022, and giving you match breakdowns, betting tips and predictions in general on these games. Welcome back to High Stakes. Before we dive into our video, don't forget to subscribe and push that notification bell to get notified as soon as we release these sport prediction videos. Also, check out our perks and join the High Stakes membership. Joining the High Stakes membership is easy, is cheap, but it will help a lot in the growth process of this channel. Plus, if you would like more betting tips and predictions, then check out our Patreon in the link down below. Our new Patreon is a way for us to help you improve your chances of making more money. Multiple plans are available for each and every one of you. By becoming a member of the High Stakes Patreon, you will have access to our best team picks, total picks, parlay picks and much more. Stop wasting hours of your time searching for bad betting predictions that ends up costing you a lot of time and money. Join the High Stakes Patreon now and get the best betting picks. Going back to our video, we will give you 2 betting picks for each game, a team pick and a total pick based on facts and detailed explanation. One more thing before we start, check out our new channel High Stakes Props and Parlays, where you can find our player props and parlay picks predictions. You will find the link in the description and comments section below. And make sure to watch our videos till the end so you don't miss any of our picks. Memphis Grizzlies vs Detroit Pistons. The Detroit Pistons, like many teams this season, have been hit with the injury bug this season, which has derailed the progress of a number of their younger players. Heading into this matchup, the Pistons are just 7-20 on the season and sitting in 14th place in the Eastern Conference, while tied for the most losses. They are 4-6 in their last 10 games and coming off a tough loss to New Orleans on Tuesday night. The game took a turn in the third quarter when Pistons leading scorer Bojan Bogdanovic was ejected from the game for arguing a call. Trailing by 16 when he was ejected, the Pistons responded by cutting the lead down to 77-73, but were unable to sustain it in a 104-98 loss. Here they come again. MVP candidate Ja Morant led the way with 26 points, 13 rebounds and 11 assists for his second triple-double of the season and 7th of his career. Dillon Brooks, still starting for an injured Desmond Bane, poured in 24 points, and Brandon Clark added 17 points and 8 rebounds. Morant's 7th triple-double now gives him sole possession for the most triple-doubles in franchise history, one better than Marc Gasol. The Grizzlies' play in the paint on both ends has gone a long way towards the team's success. The return of Jaren Jackson Jr. has certainly helped as the Grizzlies have scored at least 50 points in the paint in all 4 games of this winning streak. The team also welcomed back Zaire Williams, who returned after missing the first 24 games of the season with right patellar tendonitis and scored 4 points in 19 minutes. Memphis is 9th in the NBA in scoring thus far, while just 14th in field goal percentage. They are, however, the number 1 rebounding team in the NBA. The Grizzlies have too much firepower for a Pistons team still without their best player. In addition, the Grizzlies have enough depth and strength to slow down a Pistons team that has featured some depth this season. The game will eventually come down to 2 things: the Pistons' inability to match up with and slow down Ja Morant and the Grizzlies' superior play on the boards. The Grizzlies are 10-2 at home this season, while the Pistons are just 3-12 on the road. The Pistons have lost 5 out of their last 7 games without Cunningham in the lineup. Look for the Grizzlies to build a lead and control this game. Don't discount that this is the last of a 3-game road trip for the Pistons. That could certainly impact their effort against a Grizzlies team that will likely be looking to move up the rankings in the Western Conference. Take the Memphis minus 10.5 points. Detroit is allowing an average of 117.3 points per game, which is 28th in the NBA, and opponents are averaging 48.5% field goal shooting percentage against the Pistons. The total has finished over in 3 of the last 4 games for Detroit. The total has finished over in 8 of the Grizzlies' last 9, played against a team with a losing record straight up, and the total has finished over in 5 of the last 6 games that Memphis has played on 1 day's rest. Take the over 228 points. New Orleans Pelicans vs Phoenix Suns. The Phoenix Suns had a chance to make a statement on Wednesday night as they welcomed the Eastern Conference leading Celtics to town. Phoenix held the top spot in the Western Conference and were welcoming back their leader, Chris Paul, after a long stint out with a heel injury. Needless to say, the game didn't go as planned as the Celtics blasted the Suns 125-108. The Suns trailed by 27 points at halftime and by as much as 45 points in the third quarter as they were humbled by the first-place Celtics. In his return, Paul finished with 4 points, 4 rebounds and 4 assists while sitting out much of the second half once the game got out of hand. Josh Okogie led Phoenix with a career-best 28 points off the bench, getting extended time with the game out of hand early. Devin Booker had 17 points to lead Phoenix starters. New Orleans, like Phoenix, has been beset by injuries to many of their top players this season. They are currently playing without all-star forward Brandon Ingram, who has missed the last 5 games with a toe injury. They have also lost CJ McCollum and Zion Williamson at different points due to injury. Williamson is healthy again and playing like the superstar he was thought to be. In his last 5 games, Williamson is averaging 28 points per game, 9.8 rebounds per game, and shooting 65% from the field. In their last game, Williamson had 29 points and 10 rebounds in a 104-98 win over Detroit. The Pelicans have now won 5 straight games, and Williamson is in the middle of this run. They say styles make matchups and, in this case, the style of the Pelicans should give Phoenix problems. With Ingram out, Williamson has gotten the bulk of the touches for the Pelicans and is playing his best basketball in 2 seasons. In truth, he is a nightmare matchup for most teams, but particularly a nightmare for Phoenix as they continue to play without Cameron Johnson. Williamson should dominate the paint against the rather light Suns. In other news, while it will obviously benefit the Suns going forward having Paul back, he has a lot of rust to shake off his 37-year-old body and look to be at least a step slow on Wednesday night. If Alvarado is cleared to play, the pesky point guard will surely cause fits for Paul as he tries to get up to speed. This feels like a chance for the Pelicans to make an early statement at home against the recent class of the Western Conference. Take New Orleans plus 2.5 points. Phoenix just suffered their most embarrassing loss since Game 7 against the Mavericks in the playoffs. They fell to the Boston Celtics 125-98 but trailed by as much as 45 points halfway through the third quarter. Phoenix has no answer for the Celtics' offense. They allowed them to take 101 shots and they made 48.5% of them. The Suns only took 93 attempts and connected on 39.8%. They also gave away 18 turnovers compared to only 12 for Boston. Phoenix was never close to covering the -2 spread and the total didn't quite reach 230.5. The loss is so shocking because of how well Phoenix has played so far this season. They have a top 10 offense in efficiency, averaging a 54.6 effective field goal percentage. They're also usually good about managing turnovers, ranked 3rd in turnover percentage, 12.0%. The one area of offense they struggle with is free throws, ranked 28th in both attempts per game with 20.6, and the free throws attempted versus field goals attempted ratio with 0.227. This game is going to be important to both teams as they battle for the top spot in the Western Conference, so expect a high effort and energy level. The total has gone under in 5 of the Pelicans' last 6 games. New Orleans' 3-point defense is going to cause problems for a Phoenix team that is only ranked 18th in 2-point percentage at 53.3%. Combine that with their struggles to get to the charity stripe, and it could end up being a lower scoring affair than anticipated. Neither of these teams plays exceptionally fast, with the Pelicans in 11th place for pace with 100.69 and the Suns sitting at 20th. Go with the under here.